to the podcast Revenue Checkpoint. Today we have our esteemed guest Sesh Tirumala joining us to discuss how to rescue revenue. Hello Sesh, thanks for joining us. Can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, Ravin. Pleasure being here. So I'm Sesh Tirumala. I'm the Chief Information Officer at Western Digital. I've been there for about 18 months. And prior to that, I was a CIO at PagerDuty and Anaplan, two software as a service companies. And then prior to that, a very long career at Cisco Systems.
All right, Sesh. So you have been in companies that have done a lot of subscription monetization on the SaaS side. That's very interesting. Have you come across leakage revenue issues? Tell us a little about it if you have.
Great question. To me, revenue leakage is really an unintentional loss of revenue, right? That's how I would define revenue leakage as. And many a time you don't detect it until you have a significant financial impact. And usually it's caused by a lot of inefficiencies, either in operations, in system issues, things of that nature.
Thank you. Any early signs that you can see of revenue leakages?
So again, many a times, right, you learn lessons and scars, and lessons learned is how you go back in retro and look at things. So like I said, typically it doesn't hit until it's a significant financial impact, but there are some proactive measures that you can take, especially like I mentioned, it's usually due to inefficiencies in processes. It could be operational errors. And many a time it's also because departments are siloed. You have teams that are supporting sales for first time sale. Then you have customer success teams, then you have renewal teams. So again, I think it's important to make sure that you can connect different departments, different processes, different systems. And then to have from the learnings, how do you really have an end-to-end value stream process? And at the end of the day, all roads lead to data. So you need to really make sure you look at the data, improve the processes, and then you can begin to automate.
That's very true. It's something you need to understand. And you need to look at the whole revenue life cycle to figure out what may be happening. Any examples that you might be aware of that have happened in the past that you would like to share?
Yeah, so again, I think from my memory, I think the common issues are many companies have a quote to cash process, and you've designed it linear, right, from left to right. And in the world of SaaS, the real fun happens when the customers have deployed the software, right? So it's not the first time sale, but once you deploy the software, then it comes down to, how do you monetize for usage based on, again, the subscription modality and your monetization model. So again, when it comes to usage-based billing, arrears, the diligence of the sales team, the customer success team to measure the customer's usage, etc., capturing of the usage of the end customer. So again, I think to me, what I've seen is things when it gets, if your monetization model is fairly complex and you start to go based on usage-based billing, how do you do true ups? How do you do true forward? So that's when, discrepancies between what your contract tells you, what your invoices tell you, what the customers expect as payments come into effect, right? So that is one example. The second one I've seen is, again, in terms of pricing and discounting, in terms of how you manage that, right? Because, there are many customers that are either protected on discount or some on list price, things of that nature, right? So again, I think as you go through the revenue life cycle, having the right governance and controls in how you manage your pricing and your discounting is another key area.
This was very interesting. Thank you, Sesh, and thanks everyone.
Thank you, Ravin. Pleasure.